Now on NBC Palm Springs at 5, 5 indigenous tribes forming a new Chuckwalla National Monument intertribal commission will have more on their commitment to protecting their ancestral land.
Also tonight, the Black Rock Fire continues to burn in Joshua Tree National Park. Details from CAL FIRE on its containment. That's ahead.
The winds are starting to pick up. You can see it right there. Temperatures getting cool, and there is rain on the way. NBC Palm Springs at 5 begins now.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Mark Messer. Let's get right to tonight's top story. This evening, 5 different tribes have come together to form a Chuckwalla National Monument intertribal commission. Our Brett Rosen joins us live in studio with more on how this commission will protect the land monument. Brett?
Mark, the Chuckwalla National Monument, a stretch of land that goes from the Coachella Valley all the way to the Colorado River. And when speaking with one of the commissioners representing one of the 5 tribes who's part of this commission, they tell me this is all about one thing: protecting the national monument.
The joint effort is something that we've learned that is the best way to collaborate and to get stuff done.
That's Thomas Tortes. He is a part of the new Chuckwalla Commission, who represents the Torres Martinez Desert Cahuilla Indians, one of the 5 different tribes who are in this commission. Tortes says this is all about making sure the monument is safe.
All of the tribes that are involved have always wanted to be part of the stewardship. We've always wanted to protect this. So the priority of the commission is to protect the land, be it through co-stewardship, through the management, through the education process of all 600,000 acres of the monument.
Other tribes a part of this commission include the Fort Yuma Quechan Indian Tribe, the Cahuilla Band of Indians, the Chemehuevi Indian Tribe, and lastly, the Colorado River Indian Tribes. Tortes says already the commission has come together to talk about different ways they can help protect the land.
The next steps for the commission and the monument now is moving forward with this commission. We've developed bylaws, we've developed articles to work with the federal government, the state government, and whatever means that are necessary and resources available to protect it.
Other ways the commission has talked about keeping Chuckwalla safe has been adding more guides and bringing in younger school groups.
Once someone is educated in the culture and the ways of other people, I think there instills a compassion in the people of the ways, and you get to see the similarities and differences of cultures.
Another thing that Thomas Tortes mentioned was the announcement of this new intertribal commission couldn't have come at a better time, as today is Indigenous Peoples Day. He says today is all about recognizing the importance of learning the history of their tribe and others around the country. Live in studio, I'm Brett Rosen, NBC Palm Springs.
Brett, thank you. Well, a local alert this evening. A federal judge sides with Cathedral City in a legal dispute over the city's upcoming International Hot Air Balloon Festival. A judge with the U.S. District Court granted a preliminary injunction against Fantasy Balloon Flights, a private company, after finding the company falsely represented itself as the event's organizer. Now, the order prohibits Fantasy Balloon Flights from promoting or claiming to run the city's festival after the court found evidence they may have solicited funds and sponsorships without authorization. The judge says the city is likely to win and ordered the defendants to disclose anyone they've contacted in connection with this event. City officials say the ruling protects the integrity of this popular festival, which is set for November 21st through the 23rd and will be produced by Sound Skills Incorporated.
A judge ruling over the Loftus versus Eisenhower Health lawsuit is awarding punitive damages of $4 million to the former Eisenhower physician, Dr. Richard Loftus. In early 2020, Loftus raised alarms over COVID-19 safety measures he believed were critical for ensuring the wellness of hospital staff and patients. According to his lawsuit, Loftus requested masks and testing for medical residents, but hospital administrators reportedly resisted. As the pandemic worsened, he continued to warn about the potential for widespread illness and death in the Coachella Valley, especially within older demographics, but he was forced to resign. With the same judge, Loftus has already been awarded $1.6 million in this whistleblower lawsuit. Eisenhower Health responded to this latest decision, saying in part, quote, "The medical center strongly disagrees. saying that they deny Loftus's allegations and findings. Eisenhower Health intends to look into an appeal to review the full record.
CAL FIRE continues working to contain a fire that broke out yesterday in Joshua Tree National Park. The Black Rock fire started at 10:30 Sunday morning. This blaze is burning near the Black Rock Canyon campground that's south of Yucca Valley. According to the most recent data on CAL FIRE's Twitter, the blaze stands at 72 acres. It is 80% contained this evening, so that's some good news. A lot of progress throughout the day. Black Rock Campground was evacuated, but no other surrounding areas have been impacted.
Tough conditions to fight a fire. We're dealing with some really heavy winds right now. Live pictures right now from our Agua Caliente Casino camera high above there in Rancho Mirage. You can see the dust off in the distance. We're going to send things over to Pablo Acina. He's got the latest on our forecast. Hey, Pablo.
Yeah, it was windy. I mean, my hair was a complete mess when I stepped outside. No, but all seriousness, the wind has picked up. It's gotten cooler, and there's rain on the way.
So let me get to my weather forecast. As we're seeing the high temperatures right now of just 79 in Palm Springs, around 10 degrees hotter than cooler than normal. Usually we're at 88 to 90 degrees on today's date. And look all around. Even in Palm Desert, a high of just 82, 29 Palms with a high of 81. Indian Wells seeing highs of just 80 degrees. Idlewild with a high of just 60 degrees. So yeah, it's definitely gotten a lot cooler and a lot windier, which is what Mark was mentioning. Look in Palm Springs, wind gusts up to 24 miles an hour right now. Whitewater with gusts 17 miles an hour. Thousand Palms seeing wind gusts of 15. So always be careful, especially if you're on your bike or you're walking around. These wind gusts can pick up and could be troublesome. Now it's going to be cool and nice. And look at those temperatures start going down in case you're going for a walk after you see us and the Rogan Report, of course. Temperatures quickly at 8 p.m. going down in the 60s. At midnight, around 60 degrees. Last night, I was on La Quinta looking at the stars, loving life in the desert. So many stars, which I wouldn't see in LA. I love the stars here in the desert. Now for our 3-day forecast brought to you by Comfort Air, you're going to see rain tomorrow, around 70% chance of rain. My full weathercast, I'm going to show you when the clouds start coming in, so you can expect some rain tomorrow. Not lots of rainfall, but it will be wet tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday go in the 70s, and then the temperatures picking up for Thursday and Friday. I'm Pablo Alcina. Back to Mark and Olivia.
Pablo, thank you. More local news this evening. The Palm Springs aerial tramway reopened today after it was shut down during the month of September to perform some annual maintenance. That included rebuilding a carriage, replacing rope, and testing their control system. Tickets appear to have sold out for the day, but don't worry, on Tuesday they do have some availability if you'd like to check out all of those gorgeous views. And then don't forget, this coming Saturday, October 18th, is the 38th annual Palm Springs Aerial Tram Road Challenge. This is a 6K walk and run. It starts at the bottom of the tram, ends at the tram's Valley Station. Participants climb 2,000 feet from the desert floor to the mountains in just 3.7 miles. It's slated to start at 7 in the morning. Registration is open now until race day, and you can learn more about it by going to the newsroom tab of our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
All right, also in Palm Springs this week, parade season officially kicking off with the Palm Springs High School Homecoming Parade. Scheduled for this Wednesday, 3:30 in the afternoon. It'll roll down Palm Canyon Drive from Baristo to Alejo. So be advised if you travel those routes that day. This year's Grand Marshal is Hannah Maria Duran Wright, the Love Island Season 5 winner and Palm Springs High School alum. Then on Friday, the Palm Springs High School football team will take on Xavier Prep for the homecoming game at Ralph Watt Stadium.
Still ahead here tonight on NBC Palm Springs, a ceasefire deal is signed as Israel hostages return home. President Trump heads back to the White House after signing a historic peace deal. We have the very latest details right after this break.
Also tonight, Shadow Hills putting flag football on the map in the Valley with state attention headed into the postseason.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBC. Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 5.
President Trump is on his way back to the White House tonight after a whirlwind trip to the Middle East. The president first went to Israel as the last living hostages held by Hamas were released.
Trump then traveled to Egypt to sign the peace agreement, which has brought an end to hostilities in the 2-year war between Israel and Hamas. While the prospect for peace looks promising, there's still many issues to be worked out. NBC's Julie Sirkin has the latest from Washington.
In Israel, cheers and tears as 20 living Israeli hostages held for 738 days returned home in emotional reunions with their families. Freed from Hamas captivity after Israel and Hamas agreed to key elements of President Trump's peace plan. Flanked by leaders from around the world, the president officially signing the deal in Egypt, where negotiators reached the historic agreement late last week.
This is the day that people across the region and around the world have been working, striving, hoping, and praying for.
It brought an end to more than 2 years of fighting. For now, a ceasefire, the first phase in a 20-point plan toward a lasting peace. Since hostilities ended, thousands of Palestinians have made the trek back to northern Gaza, and hundreds of aid trucks have begun pouring into the devastated region, carrying much-needed food and medical supplies.
The hostages are back. The hostages are back.
The president starting his whirlwind day in Israel, where he addressed the country's parliament just hours after the hostages were released.
This is not only the end of a war. This is the end of an age of terror and death and the beginning of the age of faith and hope and of God.
But many questions remain, and many details still need to be worked out. Will Hamas disarm and cede power? Who will govern Gaza? And will the ceasefire hold? President Trump believes it will.
This took 3,000 years to get to this point. Can you believe it? And it's going to hold up, too.
As part of the agreement, Israel also handing over hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and people detained during the war. And in Israel, while today is all about celebrating the living hostages that have been returned to their families, Hamas is also expected as part of this deal to turn over the bodies of 28 hostages that have either been killed by Hamas in captivity or died while being held there. Many families still waiting as search operations are ongoing in Gaza for those bodies. In Washington, Julie Sirkin, NBC News.
And more than 24 countries are represented at the Global Summit on Gaza's future, trying to advance peace in the Middle East. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was invited but declined, his office saying it was too close to a Jewish holiday. Despite unanswered questions about the next steps in Gaza, which has been devastated during the conflict, President Trump says he's determined to achieve regional harmony. The president reportedly wanting to now help rebuild Gaza. At the start of the summit, President Trump sat down alongside Egypt's president, who he praised as a, quote, friend of mine, and said the U.S. was with him all the way.
President Trump will meet with his Ukrainian counterpart, Volodymyr Zelensky, at the White House on Friday. That's according to a source telling CNN. The meeting comes after Trump said Sunday he's considering telling Russian President Vladimir Putin that if the war in Ukraine doesn't end, he will allow shipments of long-range Tomahawk missiles to Kiev. The missiles would allow Ukraine to penetrate deep into Russian territory. Trump says he and Zelensky discussed the Tomahawks in 2 phone calls over the weekend.
The Pentagon is moving billions of dollars allocated for research to pay troops as the government shutdown continues. A Pentagon spokesperson saying President Trump directed the Secretary of Defense to use available funds to pay service members on October 15th. That decision comes after the Department of War discovered $8 billion of unspent research development, testing, and evaluation funds. That money will be used to ensure troops will have a paycheck if the funding lapse continues past Wednesday.
A man is in custody in Southern California after he allegedly stabbed several people at a school for students with learning challenges. Authorities say the suspect is a former student at the Switzer Learning Center in Torrance. Investigators say the man stabbed 3 staff members during today's attack. 2 of the victims were rushed to a hospital in critical condition, but their conditions are now stable. The 3rd victim was treated at the scene. Police later arrested the suspect. He told officers he had placed 2 pipe bombs in the area. The bomb squad investigated, but no devices were found.
Let's take a little break from the headlines, give you a live look outside our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera this evening. A windy day out there for most of the Coachella Valley and rain on the way. Pablo Alsina's in right after the break with more on your 7-day forecast, so stay with us.
I'm Pablo Alsina, just my 2nd week in Palm Springs, and then we saw rain already last week. Now we're seeing strong winds coming in, temperatures going down to the 60s. I could get used to this beautiful, beautiful weather. You can see there, the wind definitely picking up around 30-mile-per-hour gusts in some areas, so be careful out there. Current conditions, 78 degrees in Palm Springs. 0 precipitation so far. Humidity very calm, just 31%. And here you can see with the dew points at around 46, and the temperatures quickly coming down as the day goes on. The clouds and the rain will start coming in late tonight and into tomorrow morning. As we look at the temperatures right now in the high desert, we have Joshua Tree at 62, 29 Palms at 74 degrees. Down here where we're at, 78 degrees in Palm Desert, 78 degrees in Palm Springs, and Cabazon seeing 63 degrees as of now. The low temperatures we're going to feel tonight, look at this. Palm Springs already in 58 degrees in the second week of October. How beautiful is that? Palm Desert, they're going to see lows of 56. 29 Palms with a low of 54 tonight. Now, this is the moisture I was going to tell you that's going to start coming in. So we start moving through the tracker. You're going to notice into Tuesday morning, 1 a.m., those rain's going to start coming in, and it's going to start appearing for us later on in the day. Looking at our 7-day forecast brought to you by Comfort Air, around a 70% chance of rain on Tuesday. Low temperature 73 degrees. Not lots of rainfall, around the quarter-inch total in all the areas, but it definitely will be wet on Tuesday. Wednesday, 77 degrees. Then the rest of the week, the temperatures will start slowly coming back up, but nowhere near the 100-degree heat as before. This is just the perfect time to be in the desert. I'm Pablo Alsina. Make sure to follow me and let me know where I should live. I'm still trying to decide what area of these beautiful cities surrounding me I should live in. And here's our 7-day forecast. Sunday going back up to 87 degrees. Now remember, tomorrow around a 70% chance of rain, so make sure to stay dry.
NBC Palm Springs Sports with Tim O'Brien, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
Well, welcome back. Each week, Firebirds Off the Ice airs Sunday nights after the game right here on NBC Palm Springs. Sunday night, we dove into the puck drop on the 4th season of Firebirds hockey. From Fuego's summer internship with us at NBC to Coach Laxdal breaking down the X's and O's and what makes the team successful on the ice. Now, each week we'll also get to know a player a little more than just what we see on the ice. This week it was Jacob Melanson's turn. Here's a bit of that segment.
Yeah, I'm Jacob Melanson. I'm from Amherst, Nova Scotia. I started playing hockey when I was around 3 years old, so for a lot of you fans just getting the rink here now, I mean, it's pretty crazy to think that we started playing when we're 3 years old, but it's awesome to be able to play here and see a lot of kids getting into the game early just like we did, so it's great to see.
Already in his third year here in the Valley, Melanson proven to be a leader on and off the ice. You can catch the latest episode on NBCPalmSprings.com. Now, earlier today, the Firebirds announced they've loaned goaltender Jack LaFontaine to the Kansas City Mavericks in the ECHL. With Nike Coco getting most of the reps here in the desert, along with Victor Osman, LaFontaine will get playing time in Kansas City. Now, the Mavericks will open their season on Friday. Now, the Shadow Hills Lady Knights haven't just been winning, they've been absolutely dominating. Our Caitlin Kelly shows us how the flag football team is setting the standard across the Valley and the state.
They've dominated the field all season, and they're proving that Friday Night Lights aren't just for the boys. The Lady Knights of Shadow Hills High School are undefeated, 8-0 in league play, and showing everyone why they're the team to beat in the desert. With sharp passes, quick cuts, and a defense that never lets up, the flag football squad is redefining what it means to play with heart.
It's really interesting to talk to these athletes that play a couple sports, and they straight up tell me there's just something different about flag football. They really love each other, they get along, and they really work hard for each other.
That chemistry has carried them through their perfect season, and now they're preparing for their final regular season game this Tuesday on the road against Valley View. After that, it's playoff time, and the Lady Knights are ready for the challenge.
The 15th for flag football is the last allowable contest. So shortly after then, the rankings will come out and they'll divide us up in the CIF section, and may the best team win.
With NBC Palm Springs, I'm Caitlin Kelly.
Well, look for the Lady Knights to be in the top 10 possibly in CIF. That'll do it in sports. I'm Tim O'Brien.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Before we go, every day is a good day to celebrate the nation's service members, but today is extra special. It's the U.S. Navy's 250th birthday. According to NationalDayCalendar.com, the Continental Navy had just 2 ships and a crew of 80 men at the time of its inception. Today, it has more than 340,000 active duty personnel and upwards of 71,000 reservists. So their 250th birthday, and next year is America's 250th birthday. So a lot of celebrating.
A lot of celebrating indeed. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. Nightly News is next. We'll see you at 6.